Alrighty, boys and girls, time for the Chapter 10 test review. Now, if you wanted to review the first half of this chapter, I have another video. That's the part 1 of 2 video. If you just want to go over the information on the second half, this is the video for you. So, we're starting out with 2 questions having to do with box and whisker plots. Try and figure them out. Press play when you're ready. Okay, so first thing you look at when you want to compare box and whisker plots, or dot plots for that matter, is whether or not they're symmetric. Now, when you look at it, this one looks pretty symmetric, but this one right here, not symmetric. This whisker is a lot shorter than this one. This half of the box is longer than that. When they're not symmetric, you're going to use 2 things to compare them. You're going to look at the medians, and you're also going to look at the interquartile range. So the median, in this case, would be the 7, and in this case would be the 4, and the interquartile range is going to be this minus that, from this end of the box to that end. So in this case, 9 minus 6, it would be 3, and in this case, 5 minus 3, so it would be 2. Alright, by the way, if you want to, interquartile range, I'll let you use that as an abbreviation. Now, for this one right here, it says, what is the median? Well, the median is the center line in the box, so in this case, the median is 5. Nice and easy. What's the interquartile range? We just went over how to do this. This end minus this end. So this is 7 minus this, which is 4, and that gives us 3. So the interquartile range here is 3. Okay, so here's the next 2 questions. Take a look, and once you feel ready, press play. Okay, so for this first set, we have a dot plot here. The easiest way to do these problems is to actually write down all the numbers represented by the dots. So this tells us we have one number 1, we have 2 2s, we have a 3, we have a 4, we have a 5, or 2 5s, pardon me, 2 6s, 3 7s, and 1 9. Now, once you're done, I strongly recommend to check your work on this. So we've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 dots. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 numbers. So I know it checks out. Now, to get the median, we're going to cross out from both sides till we get to the center. And there's a median number right there. Our median is 5. Now, we're going to section off everything above and below that median, and then we're going to cross out and try and get the median of both sides. Here we have 2 numbers in the middle, so we take the average of them. 2 plus 3 is 5, and divide by 2 because there's 2 numbers. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. Right here, 2 numbers in the middle, 7 and 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So now, and this would be the 2 ends for the box. So now all I do is 7 minus 2.5, and that's going to be 4.5. For this one here, same thing, except for I don't have to convert from a dot plot. It's already done for you. Start crossing out, trying to get to the center. 2 7s. 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So there's my median. Section off both sides. Two numbers in the center. 5 plus 5 is 10, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. Two numbers in the middle. 9 plus 10 is 19, and 19 divided by 2 is going to be 9.5. So to find the interquartile range, I'm going to take the 9.5, subtract the 5. 9.5 minus 5 is 4.5. Now, if you were going to make a box and whisker plot for this, the 7 would be the middle line, the 5 would be the line on the left, and the 9.5 would be the line on the right. The whisker would go to the lowest and greatest numbers. So I'd have a whisker there for 11, and I would have a whisker over here for 3. Of course, you would have a number line and have to label it accordingly. Okay, the last type of questions involve looking at scenarios and figuring out what kinds of displays to use for them. This is from 10.5. So let's say somebody wants to display how many of each kind of soda they have in a store. What kind would they use? If you said bar graph, you're totally right. A bar graph shows the number of items in specific categories. In this case, the categories are the kinds of soda. It shows how many of each kind of soda it has. So for example, you could have cola, ginger ale, and so forth, how many sodas they have in each one in the store. Now, the next one, percent of people that watch 0, 1, 2, and 4 or more hours of TV nightly. All right, what do you think this one would be? All right, for this one, percent is a huge hint. Anytime you have parts of a whole, especially involving percents, circle graph. Next one, number of students who eat 0 to 1, 2 to 3, or 4 to 5 pounds of candy each night. If you said histogram, give yourself a pat on the back. Absolutely right. Histograms are very similar to bar graphs, except for down here, instead of having different categories, we have ranges, intervals. Last one, the change in height over time of a plant. Okay, if you said line plot, you are absolutely right. Line graph. Whoopsie. Line graph, boys and girls. Line graph shows the change over a period of time. So, for example, plant height, let's say you had the months here, January, February, March, April, and so forth. And the plant started out as a seed, didn't grow much, then grew a lot, then grew only a little, then grew way up, something like that. A line plot, since I mentioned it, a line plot is actually a dot plot. You've got the frequency of data over a number line. So take a look at line plots, or dot plots, and they're the same thing. All right, boys and girls, if you know all that, you should be in pretty good shape for the test. Best of luck. See you in class.